Hello friends, welcome to day 2 of my class to go featuring the Humble Home bundle. This is such a cute punch bundle in our mini catalog right now, and you can earn this class to go free with an online order in my online store. There are 3 ways to do it. Orders over $50 will earn the class kit for free. Make sure you use that host code. Orders over $100, you're going to earn that class kit for free too, again with the host code, and you're going to earn 5 bonus cards too. Now the bonus cards may not coordinate with the Humble Home bundle, but they're going to be pretty cute cards just for great inspiration. And then the third way is to place a $150 order in my online store. This one you do not need to use the host code for, but you're going to get the class kit free, the 5 bonus cards, and you're going to get a full package of embellishments. And this week we are using the iridescent faceted gems, which are some of my absolute favorites. So that's how you earn the class for free. Yesterday we made this amazing little adorable fun fold Z-fold card. Super fun, really quick and simple. You could definitely make a bunch of these in no time. And today we are making this gorgeous, gorgeous card. I just love this card. I love the colors. I love the images. So we're going to make this fun, gorgeous card today. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Let's talk about our card base first. So I have a garden green card base. So just your standard 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I'm gonna give that a good burnish. And we're gonna accent that with some of this beautiful holly paper. This is from our Snowy Scenes DSP. This is probably my absolute favorite print in the whole package. And we're just gonna adhere this right down to our card base just so we don't lose it. All right. Now we have a couple more pieces that we're going to go ahead and assemble now. I have a piece of Poppy Parade. This is 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. And I have a piece of Basic White, which is 2.5 by 3.5. That's going to go right on top of this one. And I also have another little piece of the DSP from that Snowy Scenes. And this one is 1/2 inch by 2.5. And we're just going to go ahead and assemble all of this together. So my white piece will go on, and I'm going to use that petal pink snowflake side. So this piece will go on. So I'm just going to stick this piece on just like that. We're just getting these pieces out of the way just so they don't get lost. And then this little petal pink snowflake one will just go on about 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch from the bottom, just like that. All right, so let's go ahead and set this aside, and then we'll get to our stamping. So let's pull out some cardstock to do our stamping. And we're going to do that brick house again, just like we did yesterday, but this time we're going to use Poppy Parade. We're going to make it a red brick house. So pretty. So let's get this inked up in Poppy Parade. Now, if you're stamping them, if you're stamping a bunch on the sheet, make sure that you are leaving room. You don't want to stamp them too close to each other because you want to leave room for the roof. And there are, these little accent pieces, the star, or not the star, the square and the heart, that do get punched out as well. And you don't want that to punch into your image. Look at how beautiful that stamped. So pretty. All right, I'm going to close my Poppy Parade. We're going to bring in some garden green. That will be for the roof. So we're going to use that same roof stamp that we did in day 1. And we're just going to try to line this up as perfectly as we did yesterday. Just line up those points like the little pitch of the house, and perfect. Oh, that looks pretty good as well. Pretty good. All right, now as long as we have our garden green ink pad out, we're going to do our greeting. So we have this little Merry Christmas greeting. Now you can see on the stamp that this is actually in 2 lines, and I want it in 1 line. So we're just going to do some strategic inking on this. Now I already have my little tag all die cut. This is from our Greetings of the Seasons tags, and I've already tied on the Baker's Twine bow just to save us a little bit of time. So we're going to stamp it on this, and I'm going to start with let's start with the Merry. Because this is a photopolymer stamp, I'm going to be able to see exactly where I'm inking it. And so I'm just going to ink up just the Merry. So I'm just putting it just on the, oops, I'm not on camera. Just putting it on the very edge of the ink pad there. Just inking up the Merry. So as you can see, I didn't ink up Christmas, just the Merry. And so we're going to stamp that just a little bit off a center, just like that. So we just have Merry. And I'm going to clean my stamp. I have my little Simply Chamois here. We're going to give that a good clean. So mine are nice and stained. You can see how dark they get. They get nice and stained, but they still work perfectly. And once a week I throw them in my laundry with my towels and my sheets. Don't put them in the dryer, but you can run them through the washer just fine. Make sure to rinse them out real good before you throw them in the washer, but you can absolutely do that. That's what I do with mine. It keeps them nice and clean. All right, we're gonna do the same thing this time. This time I'm only inking up Christmas. So I did that upside down so that I could see what I was doing, but just inked up Christmas. And now we're just going to line up Christmas with Mary here. Hopefully we'll do a good job lining it up. Pretty good. So we have that Merry Christmas greeting. So we've turned it into one line instead of two, just with a little bit of strategic stamping. All right, that is all for our stamping. I've already pre-stamped my wreath here, and I did that in black memento. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see how we're going to color this little wreath. It's a very little tiny wreath. And you will have to fussy cut this one. There's no dies and it doesn't coordinate in the punch. So you will have to fussy cut it, but that's okay. It's a very small image. It goes quick. Okay, so I'm going to use Poppy Parade for my bow. And it's a very small bow, so just be very careful. I'm just going to use my little bullet tip ends. I'm using the dark just on the little tails and the little loop parts. And then I'm just going to go in with my light Poppy Parade and just real quickly just kind of blend that out. I'm not taking time to go over it and add a ton of ink because I don't want it to start bleeding out, but just kind of tapping that color in. And so that is Poppy Parade. Now we're using Garden Green on our card here, but we don't have any Garden Green blends. So I'm going to kind of create Garden Green with some of our Stampin' blends. So I'm going to start by covering the whole wreath in light Old Olive. So there's a little tiny piece up here, a little tiny piece there, and then just kind of keep tapping it in. If you feel more comfortable with your brush tip, you can. I feel like with small places, I make a bigger mess with my brush tip. And then I'm going to take light shaded spruce, and I'm going to just kind of go around the center of the wreath. We're not going to cover the entire thing, but just kind of just the center part with the light shaded spruce. And then I'm going to go back with my light Old Olive and just kind of blend that all out. I'm going over the shaded spruce, I'm blending that color and just kind of mixing them together. And those two colors together, they don't make the perfect garden green, but it is pretty close. So it does match a little bit better. So let me zoom back out a little bit so we can see what we're doing. And so you'll fussy cut this, and through the magic of television, I already have my wreath fussy cut ready to go. And I've also stamped two windows using that this stamp right here. So I stamped that and I punched out the two windows, and I did that in Daffodil Delight. And I also stamped the door in Garden Green. So I stamped this image twice. I did it once in Daffodil Delight, punched out the windows, and did it twice, and then did it again in Garden Green. So that is all of our stamped pieces. Let's go ahead and punch out our little house here. We need our house, so this will line up perfectly with our punch. Make sure that when you're using a punch, you always line it up upside down. And then I just pinch it gently just to kind of hold it in place, and then you can really close it to get it to punch. All right. And we have our little house. We'll move all of our little pieces out of the way. Okay, so let's assemble our little house here. So we have our door. That just goes on, of course, where the door goes, just right on the front. And then I'm just going to put two little dots on either side for the windows. And I will grab my Take Your Pick tool. The windows are kind of small, so the Take Your Pick tool really helps out here. And we're just going to set those onto the little dots of glue. And we'll do the same thing with our wreath. That will go up here. We'll just set that right on that glue. Perfect. Isn't that so adorable? Our sweet little house. Isn't it so cute? And that little Stampin' Blends technique really does kind of make it look like Garden Green. All right, we are ready to keep going on this. So I have my piece of, you know, the Poppy Parade that we assembled earlier, and I am just going to put a little line of glue behind my tag here, just kind of in the middle. The tag's going to hang off a little bit on either side, so you don't need to go too overboard with that. We're just going to stick on that little greeting, just like that. Give that a nice press so that glue adheres. And we're going to stick our house on with dimensionals. So let me grab some dimensionals here. Just do a little edge piece of our dimensionals, and that's going to go right above the greeting, just like that. Now this piece is going to go onto our card base with dimensionals, so I'm just going to do the rest of my edge pieces here. That'll finish up this sheet of dimensionals. It's so satisfying when you finish a sheet, right? You use all the edge pieces and everything. So satisfying. And this is going to go right onto our card base. And I'm doing it a little bit to the right of center. Now if you need to trim your little tails on your bow, you can do that. Trim those up. All right, and our final finishing touch, we are going to add some of the iridescent faceted gems. I'll do that with my Take Your Pick tool. We'll just add 3 of them, just to add enough sparkle to this card to make it festive. All right, and that is the card for day 2. What do you guys think? I just love this DSP. I think it makes the whole card, I think. I just love that super festive DSP. All right, guys, I'll be back tomorrow with another project for day 3 of the Humble Home Class to Go. I hope you'll join me then. Bye.